Okay, so your question is, what is Chitta? Or how do we experience Chitta? Correct?
Yeah, the process that takes how the Chitta works in different stages.
No, that we had covered. So first we need to understand what is Chitta. What is that? First, that is a root word, Chit. Meaning of that is to shine. Just like you have that background where the sun is having a streak of light, that is Chit. Chitta is plural. It means streaks of lights. So Buddha explains that as Pabhasaram idam chittam. Chitta means that which shines everywhere. Okay, first thing, it's just light. A streak of light is Chit, and a stream of light is Chitta. So you and I, or anyone as such, is only Chittas. That's all. There is no person, there is no thing, there is nothing there. It's just light. That light carries colors, and that color is yellow, which is raga, red, which is dvesha, blue, which is moha. These are the primary colors available in the universe. Okay, white is no color. That means if it is a pure, then it is pure Chitta. That is what in the Sutta in the fourth jhana he explains, that your whole body is lit up by pure white light, and he explains that it will be like somebody has put a white dress on your body. So that is called Pabhasara, shining. Okay, so what stage we need to go is to get that white light. Simple. At present, why we can't see any light? Because it is tamas. And Buddha uses that as tamas in various ways. Tamas means darkness. So when there is darkness and this streak of light carries complete impression of everything, so it comes with different colors, which is like, and live example is, you have a projector. That projector has that tiny light. In that there is this movie which is playing on the screen. You don't see that light. What you see is the movie. In the same way, right now as we speak, we are able to see ourselves instead of Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha and Vinyana, because that light is clouded by Raga, Dvesha, Moha. That means either you see it as yellow, which gives the warm feeling. So when we are having Raga, we feel warm. We want to go behind it. So we are not heated up, we are warm. When we are in Dvesha, it heats up. So you can see that your body is heating up completely. When I'm angry, the whole body is anger and it is burning. You can see that. So the whole Chitta is now red, complete. There's not even a place left where you will have white light. So the body will function as per what the Chitta is doing, not as per what the body wanted to do, because body is nothing but an element, it or dhatu or a quality. It doesn't have life on its own, so it is nijjiva. There is no life in that, in Patavi or Apo or Tejo or Vayu or Akasha. There is no life in that. The Chitta provides the light or the life through the Jivita Indriya, which is the life faculty. So it creates an impression that there is something there, and that is either Raga or it is Dvesha or it is Moha. So the Moha is there, it becomes cold. So it is blue. Just like you see a burner, you have yellow light, you have a yellow glow coming there, you have red and you have blue. If you take a candle, again you'll have yellow, red and blue and white. Same way is this. Okay. So here what Buddha Gosa did is to slightly take a deviation and call Nibbana as a white light, which is not like that. Okay, that is a wrong interpretation, but overall it is correct that you have a white kasina, or ultimately you have to achieve that white, complete white, and then you can see everything, because now it doesn't have any color. So the color is gone, that is raga. So nibbida happens when the coloration fades away. So then nibbida is disillusionment. So you see that it is just a movie, there is nothing out there. So, nibbidaya viragaya nirodhaya upasamaya abhinyaya sambodhaya nibbanaya, all of these happens in the chitta, not in you. There's no you to happen. Just to say I, you, me, this, that is just a language. That is what is called as adivachana sampassa. That is, adivachana is you describe, you talk, you grammatize, you dramatize. All that is part of the adivachana. And the patigha sampassa is what strikes. So when any one of these patavi, apo, tejo, vayu, akasha will strike, the adivachana is there, and that's how the nama and rupa gets associated. So in the chitta you have nama and rupa, you also have sati, you have everything, you have samadhi, you have in the chitta itself you have samma ditti, samma sankappo, samma vacha, samma kammanto, samma ajivo, samma avayamo, samma sati, samma samadhi, samma jnana, samma vimukti. All the 10 is there in the same chitta. So the objective is to purify the chitta. So he says cheto vimukti. That is, the chitta is now liberated. With what? With all colorings. So the coloring is gone. So that is what is the meaning of chitta. Chit is pure light, streak of light, just a streak of light. And chitta is a stream. And unfortunately, it is called as consciousness, because there is no word to explain what it means as chitta. Okay, and also chitta is called as mind. So it becomes even more confusing that chitta is consciousness and mind is also consciousness. Now what's the difference between the chitta and mind? Because in some places English translation takes chitta as a mind and vijnana as a consciousness. So now you have two things. They are not two things, they are only the same thing. It happens in 9 stages, that's all. So the color, how does the color happen? So first it is pure white light called a chitta stream. So it's called chitta viti. Viti means road. So chitta viti means a stream of chittas coming like water flow. But this is light, just a streak of light everywhere. And hence he says pabhasaram idam chittam. Okay, now what happens? Chitta moves into the next stage because of conditions. Now there is conditioning, that is what is called sankata. So the conditions come into play. Conditions are the foreplay of karma. So now it comes on the screen. So then chitta becomes mano. Then it becomes manasan. Then it becomes hadayam. Then it becomes pandaram. Then it becomes an ayatana. That means it creates a house. It has its own place, which associates itself with the other 5 faculties of eye, ear, nose and all that. So mana ayatanam. Mana indriyam. Now it is by itself. So now if you close your eyes, you can see images floating by. That is coming from the mana indriya, and the previous stage is mana ayatana. So whatever is stored in that ayatana is coming out as indriyas. Then it becomes vijnana without knowledge of what it is. It's just a streak of light. Now it is completely covered with something, with whatever it is. So what Buddha says is that even Buddha Dhamma has to be dropped in the Chitta, because then you are going to latch on to it. That is Upadana. Each Chitta will latch on to something. Either it will latch on to the Patavi, either it will latch on to the Apo, it will latch on to the Tejo or Vayu or Akasha or something, or Ayatana. So it will take Chakku Ayatana, Sota Ayatana, Ghana Ayatana, Jiva Ayatana, Kaya Ayatana, Mano Ayatana. It will take itself to be that itself. Okay. Then Vijnana Khanda. All the past impression, if you just were to say, I was in so and so school, it just goes back, picks that up, brings it to life. Now the movement starts of how you were going to the school, what you were doing, how your mother was taking you, how you are taking your care of your son or daughter or whatever. All that will happen. That is coming from that Vijnana Khanda, heap of Vijnana. In that Chitta, Sati is there. So Sati means it remembrance. So every Chitta carries remembrance. So Chitta itself has Chetasika, the mental factor. So it has Phassa, Vedana, Chetana, Sanya, Chetana, Ekagata, Manasikara, like that. So it has itself a full-fledged thing. Each Chitta carries 7 universal Chetasikas, which is part of it. And Ekagata is part of the Chetasika. So every Chitta carries that. So as soon as a sound is heard, as soon as a sight is seen, as soon as a taste is felt, as soon as a touch is felt, as soon as a smell is felt, it stops for a millisecond to grasp what it is. So it goes back as many lives you had in your past, picks up that taste, picks up that touch, picks up that smell, all of that, and brings back and joins together. So Atita, Anagata, Pachuppanna happens in an instant. So you feel, I existed in the past. That's all. That's what the Chitta is doing all the time. And hence it is Vijnana, because it doesn't know, doesn't have the knowledge. So you is just a Chitta which is defiled, which is having asavas. So you are cleaning up the Chitta through the Chitta. Got it? So there is no Naveen, and ultimately there is no Vilas also. So there are four things which are Paramatha. One is Rupa, Chitta, Chetasika, Nibbana. These are the only 4. There is nothing else other than this 4. If you talk Rupa, it is Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, Varna, Rasa, Gandha, Oja. Finish. That's all. You call by whatever name it is. It doesn't matter. Then it's only Chitta. Whether you have a Kusala Chitta or akusala Chitta, there are only 2 which keeps on coming. It's a player. So depending upon a condition, either the Kusala will come or an akusala will come. If Chittas in the Chitta, akusala comes, the Chittas, the stream, will have akusala. Nothing you can do. It's like a river flowing. It's just a river flowing. What will you do? How do you drain that river? Nothing you can do. Because you yourself is that river. So what will you do? That's the reason he says Vattam Vattati. That is like a whirlpool. You keep on circling. So what it really means, there is this river flowing endlessly. All the Chittas are the same. One of that Chitta turns back and wants to exist separately as a separate unit, and it turns back just to be pushed back. Again it turns back to be pushed back, and that is how the samsara vatta, meaning samsara whirlpool, is created. You keep on throwing water and you again get pulled by water. Again you keep on pushing water and you get, so it circles around there. And when it circles around there, it creates a vortex, and from there everything starts. So Buddha calls the body is that ebb. Ebb means like a funnel which is filled with dirt. So this body is like that. It's completely boils. Boil in the sense that which will burst anytime. So there are 9 holes, boil, big ones. They're not small ones. And anything, any liquid coming out, oozing out of that boil is dirty smell. There's nothing you can do about it because Chitta don't keep anything. It is pure by itself. So the impurity is there only in the Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Akasa, because it has got entangled with the defiled consciousness, which is the Chitta. So if the tears comes of the eyes, it is worse to taste. And then if from the nose, if the liquid comes, you can't taste. If from the mouth something comes out, you can't taste. If the ears something comes out, nothing can be tasted. And the 2 private holes what you have, you will not like to taste it. So it is disgusting. That's all what this body is. But the Chitta, which is having akusala, feels that this body is great. So this whole objective is to purify the Chitta, and that is what he calls as Cheto Vimukti. The Chittas should get Vimukti, liberation. From what? From Raga, Dvesha, Moha. So Ragakhayo, Dosakhayo, Mohakhayo, Nibbana. That's all about Chitta. So there's no you and I, it's only Chittas. And in the Samannapala Sutta, he talks about Chittas, basically.
So I want to know, let's say we practice moral life, morality. How does this morality impacts Chitta?
Okay, there are 2 Chittas at any point in time. Okay. Broadly, that's the reason he calls Dveda Vitakka Chitta. Vitakka is thoughts, a Vitarka in Sanskrit. So Vitakka, Dveda Vitakka, the 2 types of thoughts which comes. One is akusala, that is a Chitta. There is a kusala, which is a Chitta. They both will fight for existence. Bhava. Bhava Pache Jati. So it wants to be born. Okay. Morality is part of a set of Chittas called as Kusala Chitta. And immoral living is part of Akusala Chitta. If the Chittas shine forth Akusala, after dropping this body, it automatically transforms into what it wants. There's nothing like somebody is dying and somebody is getting reborn. Just to say, we have to say because there is language. But actually what is happening, the Chitta itself takes the form to what it belongs to. So it can take anything. It can take from Brahma to the Niraya in an instant. Just like you go on a dream route and you have no control over the dream, in the same way those Chittas will come at the dying moment and it just transforms itself into that. There's nothing anybody can do about holding those Chitta saying that, hey Vilas, you were a Dhamma follower in the past life and excuse me, you are going in a wrong direction. There's nothing like that, because the akusala Chittas have arisen. Similarly, if I have kusala Chitta, there is no way the akusala Chitta can shine. They can't fight for the space. There's only one space. There's no two spaces. So using viveka, discrimination, who does the discrimination? The kusala chitta discriminates that this is akusala and this is kusala, just like the body discriminates between an intruder and its own cell. It has an intelligence to know that, oh, this is my own, this is imported, this has come from outside. You are not doing anything about fighting with a cell. You don't even know where the cell is in the first place to fight. In the same way, the chitta itself carries the memory to say that this is bad and this is good. So the kusala chittas will then hit upon the akusala. Pahana is to cut. So it cuts it. Sala is to cut. Kusala is to cut the dirt. So it just cuts off at the root. And that's it. There ends. So there is nothing like, let's say, Pheṇapiṇḍūpamasutta. It just cuts. There's after that, no chittas of that will arise. That's it. Over. Now you try 100 times. If there are no chittas of that, where will you get Pheṇapiṇḍūpamasutta? Because it's a chitta. It has to arise.
So unless that Pheṇapiṇḍūpamasutta chitta is cut, it will keep coming.
Yes, it will keep coming for making sure that it gets something. I want
some existence.
Yeah. So I want something. It keeps on coming and dropping off. This is what is called as Upada Tithi Bhanga, which you would have learnt in VRI. Okay. So Upada is happening. Tithi means to stay. It stays for some time, waiting for an opportunity. It waits. And then it creates its own situation. Chittas create its own situation. So it starts bringing in the necessary conditions for the Pheṇapiṇḍūpamasutta to happen. Then after killing, it will go away. Bhanga. Then again Upada, Tithi Bhanga.
So how do we decimate this?
Through kusala. So you need to see the danger. So when you see the danger, that will get attached to this chitta called akusala chitta, adinava. So when this kusala chitta goes and instills fear into this chitta, that chitta will drop off. It's like killing the chitta.
And I'm sure that that's not a one-time task. It takes a lot of time and practice to remove it.
Exactly. So if you look at DN 73, Chachakkasutta Sutta, Buddha gives him an assignment. This is what you need to do. Sit. Go ahead and do it. After a long time, Chachakkasutta comes back saying that, sir, I have done what I am supposed to have done. Tell me what next. He says, now you practice samatha and vipassana. It's not like I just say, oh, Pheṇapiṇḍūpamasutta Veramani, Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami, Adinadana Veramani. That is like a recitation. None of that has gone into the chitta.
Could you please elaborate that process in which these things, they get instilled in the chitta?
Correct.
How does it happen?
It's due to impression. Simple. See, you are seeing something. So now the raga will come. Why? Because it's there in the chitta. It's not you have raga. The chitta has raga. So what you can do, you are helpless. So you go and eat. Supposing you have decided I'll not eat. And you feel the smell. Something has been prepared. Let's say pakoda. Where is pakoda stored? In the chittas. Every chitta carries pakoda now. Every chittas. It's pakoda chitta now. Because it remembers, this is pakoda. You are not remembering, the chitta remembers. See, if somebody get dementia, why he can't remember? There's no he there. There's chitta doesn't have that I am so and so, right? So these guys are perplexed. He's not able to remember. How will he remember? If the chittas itself are not there, how will he remember? Similarly, in the arhat, if all of this goes away, what will he remember? Here's a slight difference. He knows, yet he doesn't. This is the problem. He knows everything. but he is not interested in anything. He has eyes, but he doesn't see. He has ears, but he doesn't hear. Why? Because the chittas don't have what? Chanda. There's no interest. Chittas don't carry any chanda. Kim mulaka avuso sabbe dhamma. Chanda avuso sabbe dhamma. Chanda is the interest. So you have to have interest for nibbana, and once that happens, you remove chanda. You need to have chanda for Buddha Dhamma, but once you have crossed, no chanda. But this is how this goes.
So, in order to bring about any change in the chitta, it's just that we have to practice and think constantly on that.
Yes.
Those guidelines.
One second. Yes, so the job can be put in 3 distinct ways. One way, go to a remote place, like what he says, go to an empty space, empty hut, or to a forest, or to a root of tree, where you don't have any human contact, any contact with anything whatsoever. There you sit, there you watch the chittas, like a movie. That is all you need to do. After a while, you will be able to delete one by one. So he says, Samma Padhana. Padhana is to cut, to remove, or whatever. Samma Padhana is first watching the akusala which have come up, cut it. Then watching how the dasa akusala comes, remove it. Watch how kusala is coming, develop it, put manure to that, so it grows. The unarisen kusala, you develop it. This is one way. Second way, be wherever you are. Watch like a skeleton, which is very difficult to do. So he talks about 9 charnel ground meditation. The second way. Third way, using dhatu, you can cut the chitta. What?
How can we cut the chitta by watching the
in the
dhatus?
chitta, the person is formed. So you can cut the person from the root itself, right? You can see it as Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, like that. So the person is gone. When the person is gone, you will start seeing the purest form of chitta, which doesn't have any color. So 3 ways of working.
So does it mean that, let's say we are interacting with someone and we feel that there is a person, right? Now let's say we have to apply dhatu vibhanga, and we simply start thinking in our mind that these are 5 dhatus, nothing apart from that.
It will not work.
Then how does it? Yeah, that how should it do? How would it work then?
You have to see holes. HOLES, holes. Only observe sati, patthana on the holes. Like you are opening the mouth. My concentration should be on the mouth. You have 2 nose holes, 2 ear holes. That's all I need to be observing when I observe you.
All right. So you mean to say instead of watching the entire face or the body, we should concentrate on these nostrils or the mouth space?
And the mouth and the ears.
Yeah, look, okay.
So then you know there is akasa. If you're able to get that, you will start laughing that a space is called as Naveen. Internally, It's called Hasattutpada or Hasittutpada. You will get that weird kind of smile, which is another Chetasika, which lights up in the Chitta. Entire body movement is created by Chitta. Entire. That's the reason it's called Sankharas. There's not even one body movement which is not done out of Chitta.
Could you please elaborate this? Let's say, for example, a person moves. A person is moving. How does it happen? I mean, how does the entire thing happens from A to Z?
No, there is another Sutta which talks about, he says that if joints are there, bending is apparent. If the torso is there, again bending is apparent. If the stomach is there, hunger and thirst is apparent. If stomach is not there, hunger and thirst are not there. If the joints are not there, then bending is not possible. If the torso is not there, then the going up, going in the front and going back is not possible. These are all created by Chitta, not created by the body itself. It's able to move, bend, all that because it is possible. It is possible means it has that space created to bend and all that.
No, I mean to say, how does the impulse work? Let's say there is a thought in the mind, I need to walk now. So what would be the process in which it will start make this body move?
Exactly similar to, you have a robot and electricity is there and you have a code which will run. If you have to say, now you walk, it will start walking. How? The Chittas light up the Mano and come to the Mana Ayatana. From there, it picks up the information and gets into the Mana Indriya. And Mana Indriya will then trigger brain impulses, which is controlling the entire body. So it requires mind to do something about it. Okay. In the meanwhile, it has already created a Vijnana. Okay. So when it goes into the brain, electrical impulses will join together that synapse. That means you have a synapse which in the neuron, it connects two networks, and in the right side of the brain or the left side of the brain, wherever it is stored, for the movement to happen, it will trigger, and once it triggers, the everything will start to move. Clear? That's the reason. That's the reason. There is a Dhamma pada, he says, Mano Pubbangama Dhamma Mano Setta Manomaya. So where is Mano? Just see, Chitta, Mano, the second step itself.
So I want to know, let's say we have discussed so much about Chitta. Okay. Now, where does this process of Vijnana Pacha Sankhara, that entire cycle, where does it happen?
It happens in Chitta, Avijja Pachaya Sankhara. Where is Avijja? Avijja is where? In the Chitta. That it is Chitta. It doesn't know because it has already become Vijnana.
So these many steps, I mean, so many steps happen there as well as the Chitta cycle also takes place together simultaneously?
Yes, it is Chitta Kshana. In that Kshana, it combines itself as Vijnana Khanda. Nothing you can do. So now in that Kshana, you have to eliminate in that time. So the elimination also happens in that Kshana. That's the reason suddenly the person becomes a noble person. And in the same way, suddenly that person becomes a very rude person or whatever person.
So you mean to say, let's say some Chitsika is coming up, a Chitsika would come in Chitta, right? And Pattacha Samutpada will also take place simultaneously with the help of that
everything. That's the reason Buddha says the most difficult thing I've ever encountered is to give an illustration of a Chitta. I can give illustration about everything except for Chitta. There's a sutta for that. He says it is something fabulous. He says somebody is painting and you can observe the painting, but you are not able to observe the Chitta which is creating that painting in the first place. That painting itself is created in the Chitta, not in the hand. It is created in the Chitta. The painter is coming in the Chitta. So the Nama Rupa is already associated. So Avidya Pachaya Sankhara, Sankhara Pachaya Vinyana, that Vinyana has already got created. It's now flowing into Chakku Vinyana, Sota Vinyana, Ghana Vinyana, like that. The Chitta is gone. The singular Chit is light. Just a light, a streak of light, just comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. That creates that movement. So you see something moving is because of the Chitta, which is just moving, going away, moving, going away, in a very fast movement, which gives an impression that somebody is there, or an ant is moving, or this is. So when you step on it, the Chit stops. So there's no movement any longer. See, there is a mosquito. In my Chitta, the mosquito has arisen. But in the mosquito, there is no vilas which has arisen. You got the point? In fact, in its Chitta, no human being has got arisen. In its Chitta, the food has got arisen. And that's the reason it's called as Vijnana. You know it is a mosquito because your Jnana is better. Your mind is elevated. That is, your Chittas don't carry the Dvesha. Actually, the more the Dvesha, the more you come into animal realm of existence. The lesser the Dvesha, in the Chitta, you come into human form. Now you see the human form, you are watching the mosquito fly by. So you are watching. So it comes to Chakku Vijnana. If Dvesha arises in the Chakku Vijnana, then you bring your Kaya. You follow that as though it is doing something to you. That poor fellow is in search of food. You can wear whatever you want. It will not bite you because it cannot bite. Inside you have worn something. If it finds a skin worth eating, it will poke and it will drink blood. Because that is food for that. It is not biting me per se. But in my ignorance, so avidya pachaya sankhara, what sankhara I am doing? Bringing my hands together, one shot out. Then I see, dead. Who is dead? There is nobody who is dead there. The Chitta moved away, leaving the Pathavi Apo Tejo Vayo with you. Who is dead? Simple.
So, Vipaka, whenever it happens, Vipaka Kamma, does it get into the Chitta Vithi, and that is how the Paticcasamuppada takes place?
Yes, that is how the Paticcasamuppada takes place. See, now we can play the Paticcasamuppada with the mosquito killing.
Okay.
Avidya, Asava Pachaya Avidya, Avidya Pachaya Sankhara, Sankhara Pachaya Vijnana. So the Vijnana is a Chakku Vijnana, which came, Kaya Vijnana came, finished. So now for that, what should happen? Vijnana, Vijnana Pachaya Nama Rupa. So the Nama Rupa happened, mosquito, mosquito, mosquito. Right? Nama Rupa Pachaya Saɗāithana. So from the six sense doors opened up. Something has come. Come on. Saɗāithana Pachaya Phassa. So there is contact between the mosquito and my eye. There's a contact. Saɗāithana Pachaya Phassa Pachaya Vedana. Now there is a feeling. Dukkha Vedana come because it's going to bite me. So the me happened because of avidya. Already me was there. Now the me becomes more predominant. How can it kill me? How can I'll get fever, I'll get dengue, I'll get this, I'll get that. So I want to safeguard my life, which is again a chitta. There's no person there. That is also one chitta, this is also another chitta. So two chittas. Set of chitta in that mosquito, set of chitta in me. The chitta doesn't know that it's a human being who is sitting, and biting him is going to cause it more injury to itself. Why? Because the person can kill it. But it is helpless, it requires food. At least I should be smart enough that Kusala Chitta has to come saying that, hey, hold on. That is you only. Hello, excuse me, that is you in that body. Please don't hit.
A self-contradiction mode?
Yeah, that is what happens. So now this Kusala Chitta will come and slap on the akusala, and that akusala Chitta falls flat.
And over a period of time, the akusala will be removed and kusala will get a place there.
Yes, it will take the entire space. So now you are a kusala. You are completely kusala. So now when you see the mosquito, you start karuna on that. Who starts karuna? The chittas itself has karuna. It will not import from somewhere. So it has karuna,
Well,
it has everything in
frankly
that.
speaking, in the last 6 months, I have stopped killing the mosquitoes. If they keep roaming around me, I don't hit them.
Yeah, you don't have to hit them. And in my
It
case,
has happened actually.
in my case, none of the mosquitoes come near me. They don't come near, they sit, but they don't bite. I've seen that. They're sitting, but they don't bite. They just sit, they go away.
Maybe they might be thinking the Dhamma will be transferred to them and they might get
No,
elevated.
that vibration will not be there for it. It's all based
A
on
vibration?
See,
What kind of?
See, ultimately the light has vibrations. So basically it is all photon, light particles. Right? So it has vibration. Kampana. So that kampana is not there. That kampana with a bad feeling is not there. Even I'll tell you, one day you come to my home, we can go where dogs are there. You see how they move away. They silently move away. They sit in one corner till I move. Then they come back. If they are barking at somebody, they stop until I pass through. There are a pack of dogs and I go. They just leave space and then I go. Then they all again join together and then start howling.
Well, I have noticed this. I have experienced this as well. Whenever we go to VRA, a lot of monkeys are there. 100, 200 monkeys are there. And if you deliberately try to, attract them by looking directly in their eyes, they will try to, run after you. But if you do not have any intent, a malicious intent, and you just pass through them, they won't even touch you.
They will not. Same thing, because they are all vinyana only. So they don't know.
Even they get the sense whether this person is harmful to us or not.
Exactly, because your chittas will be shining over there. So if the chittas are of akusala for whatever reason, they are anyway akusala, so they jump on you. If it is kusala, then there is the chitta only, right? So there's nobody person there, there's no monkey out there, or there is no mosquito out there, there's no dog out there. All are appearing in the mind, in the chittas. The dog is in the chitta. So if there is no dog, then where will you create a dog? So anything that is created will get destroyed. That is what yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam. Dhamma means thing. Anything that is created in the chitta, it get destroyed. Not eventually, it get destroyed then and there as it is created. So this is the whole structure. So it is all about chitta. So if you watch the chittas like a movie, you just have to observe. With observation, that is called Vipassana. You observe, then do Anupassana, which is contemplation. Then you see what is happening on to the chitta. It comes up, it stays and goes away. Then you don't give it energy. Then it just comes up and goes away. Udayangama, Attagama. then neither Udayagama nor Atthagama, because it doesn't have any energy now to come up at all. Now that karma bija, which was there of akusala, do not get any water. That is, craving is the water. So this is not craving any longer. If there is no craving any longer for that chitta, the chitta doesn't even arise. So he says, Vinyanasa nirodhena ittesam uparujjati. So this vinyana, the conditioned abhisankata vinyana, that is what you have created in the mind as this and that and all of it, goes out at once, leaving only the white light, which is arhat. That's a arhat phala samapatti. Yes.
So let's say I used to be a compulsive alcoholic 5 years ago. After meditation and all, I have left using for almost 5 years now. It happened all of a sudden to me.
It's not all of a sudden. There's nothing called all of a sudden. The chittas are not there. So
maybe whatever I'm not able to comprehend what has happened to me. Since I returned from that place, VRI, in the very first shiva, after that I did not feel like touching alcohol.
Yeah, what has happened is that those chittas have got cleaned. Thanks to Goenka or Ubakin, whatever you did, removed that chitta.
Because I did not do anything deliberately.
No,
whatever
there is no
the process
you to do anything, Naveen. There is nothing that you did. It's like you took a vow and you stayed in that vow for 10 days. So there was no energy created for that Sura Mere Majjapamaddatthana Veramani Sikkapadam Samadhiyami got established. See, what is that vow? Vow is a determination. So you do a sankappa. Then what happens? Each chitta will carry that this Veramani, not to entertain. Sura Mereya, Sura Mereya, Sura Mereya, like that. It keeps on repeating endlessly. So this Dasa Akusala, which was enjoying that Sura Mereya, don't get any energy. So what VRI did is a very good thing, is that they did not allow you to talk for 9 days. That is sufficient to kill, which is the right thing to do. So VRI is very good. There's no doubt that it is one of the best way to meditate or best way to let go of many akusala. It's a very good one. So what you have learned is indeed good. No doubt, no second thoughts.
I mean, 3 big time vices from me, they got wiped out. Literally. Smoking, alcohol, and non-vegetarian. I was a non-vegetarian, hardcore. And after that first shiva, I did not smoke, did not drink alcohol, and did not have non-vegetarian food as well. So these 3 things, they got wiped out.
Good. So how it happened is that it is just in that chitta kshana, when this flow is happening, this guy will come and cut it off. Over. It's a very complicated thing actually.
I mean, it's beyond my comprehension, and nobody can also explain this phenomena, what has happened actually.
Yeah.
I was a smoker, a compulsive alcoholic for almost 15 years. 15, 16 years.
Matter. There's nothing called 15 years.
And in 10 days, it just wiped out.
That's what I'm telling you. It is only chitta kshana. To get a bad thoughts also is a chitta kshana. For getting good thoughts also chitta kshana.
So now it is just a matter of practice, and we nurture those thoughts continuously in the Chitta, probably we should be able to remove all the akusalas and get these kushal Chittas and remove the dasa kushala as well.
Yes, so now you try it out. We are almost 1 hour, so you try it out. Again, we'll meet today. Try
Today
out.
or tomorrow?
No, we can even meet today or tomorrow, whatever. So,
Oh, well, I was doing a research on this actually, how these things work. What should I do so that I'm able to remove dasa kushala, because of which the previous project failed, or it has been failing for a long time actually. So that is how the thought of Chitta came to me, and I thought to
no, this
discuss
is
with
how
you.
you need to do. So, you need to keep on contemplate. So, first you need to do a samatha by observing the breath, slow down the kaya sankhara, then come to vipassana about what is panatipata, what is adinnadana, what is kameshu michachara or this abrahmacharya, then what is musavada, what is pisunavacha, what is parusavacha, what is samaphalapa, what is abhijja, what is vyapada, these are, and what is michaditti. You have to keep on pumping the chitta with this. What is this, 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 and the chittas will start with that stream of thoughts, and what is this, what is this, what is this, what. So then the chittas will start following that. A humongous chitta, just like a waves of the ocean, it just starts with waves, heavy waves of what is this, what is this, what is this, what is this, and then from the bottom answer comes up, which cuts up all of those things which you don't want.
Shall we have a session on this also?
Yeah, we can have. Why not? You tell me.
Let's have a session on this, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow evening. I'm coming back from office by 6:30, or then we can have it at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Let me just
Reflect
understand
upon
this.
this. You bring it out. You just keep on working it out. It'll happen.
Yeah. So let's have a session on this, the thing that you discussed, the 10 things, and how to get those waves in the thought process.
No, you first
Consequently,
try.
then.
So you first try, and tomorrow we'll do that. How to do it
Okay.
also I will tell you.
Okay.
So first you try the way you want it. You bring it in the
All
chitta.
right, let me do it. Let me give it a
Try whichever
start.
way you want, and then tomorrow we'll do it.
Okay, great. Let's meet
Or
tomorrow then.
if you don't want to wait long, we can do it at 8 o'clock also.
Okay.
You tell me. I'm okay for tomorrow. I'm okay for today at 8 o'clock.
I'll ping if I'm free at 8. I'll ping you.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.